Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I am your host, Perry. With me this week, as he always is, my co-host with the most host, Eric the Whiskey Mutant.
That's me. I do have the most host.
You do have the most host.
Yeah, I got the most hostess over here.
Hi, buddy.
What's up?
Let's
give up something to talk
Dude,
about.
so we were talking about this when you got to my house, but I feel like I have just not talked to you at all over the past week. And it's because you're on day shift now.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were just talking all the time. And I didn't realize just how much we were talking while you were on night shift.
Yeah.
And that was such a drastic shift for me to adjust to.
Yeah, because I mean,
what I'm saying is I've missed you.
I missed you. Well, you texted me the other day and was like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" And I was like, "I'm at work."
And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. You do that now."
Well, because when I wasn't working, we would be talking to each other, and then like when I was staying up all night, I would still be talking to you and stuff like that. And then it went to I'm a little bit more busier on day shift, so I can't talk as much. And then I'm like actually sleeping because I'm so tired. So leave me alone.
Citibank again?
Nope, this is Best Buy.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway.
I know somebody who used to work at like a big box retail store. And they still kind of technically do, but it's a different field.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know a guy that works at a big store too. But yeah, it's just my body's getting adjusted. So now I'm starting to get to where I am staying when I get home from work. I am staying up a little later, but that first week I was like out at like 9:30.
Yeah.
I was such an old fart head. But I really do feel good now. My sleeping is still not the best, but I notice it the most when I have a day off. Like when I came over here today, I'm not like fighting to like wake up and get going and stuff like that. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's my day off. Oh, I'm pretty rested.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There you go.
Let's do this.
I'm still a little, I'm fine.
Shouldn't have ate after you should have.
Well, I didn't eat off of that. I gave you that piece.
Yeah,
like I tore it off.
Your hands were on it.
Yeah.
Is that thing still not cleared up that I gave you that stuff for? Oh, no.
Well, go follow us on social media for all of our health updates at My Bourbon Pod and at Whiskey Mutant. If you want to.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I don't even know, man. What all do we talk about here? Yeah, we'll get there. Send us questions or comments to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com if you have any of those. You can check out all of our apparel and merchandise at bourbonshop.threadless.com. Get yourself some merch. There's going to be new stuff going up there just in time for This Is My Bourbon Weekend 2023.
Yes.
Which we're going to talk about later as well.
Yes,
because tickets there should be out there for everybody. I've been putting them in the description of the video.
Yeah, people like to see but we gotta help them out.
Yeah.
People are like,
I understand.
People listen and they're like driving. They're like, I'll look at the link later, and then they don't. They get busy. So we've got to help them a little bit more. I think we got to hold their hand a little bit. Yeah,
we'll talk about it in a minute. You can leave us a voicemail at 859-428-8253 for our barrel ring segment. We got a barrel rings this week.
Oh.
And it's rowdy.
Somebody finally decided to be on the show.
They had a fun time with it. It's it's good stuff.
This is good.
What else do we talk about?
Whiskey, bourbon,
snacks,
TV shows.
Subscribe
movies.
On all the things too. If you haven't subscribed yet on the YouTube page, do that in your podcast app of choice.
Smash that like button. Leave
us a 5-star rating and review too if you haven't done so yet. We read those reviews out here on the show. We actually might have a new one this week. I'll look into it here in just a bit.
Yeah.
But of course, support the show on patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. For as little as $5 a month. There's bonus content that's over there too. And as of the release of this episode, I haven't even really told you about this, but I've been working with Steven about it, and I announced it on my live stream last night as well. We now have a Tim Bip Discord server.
Who's Steven?
Sussman.
Oh, hey, Steven.
You know Steven.
No, I know, but there's a lot of Stevens. I don't know I don't know. Does he run Discord?
He's really good about like getting Discord set up.
I just know him like through the chat.
Yeah, fair enough. But Steven has helped me out with getting the Discord. He really did most of it. He didn't help me out. He set it up.
I gotta get better at Discord now.
You're going to be a moderator on it. So.
Shit. Is there a manual for that one?
Nope.
Oh, God.
It's called
Chaos.
It's called life.
Chaos. Get ready. Join the Discord. Yeah.
But that's going to be available to all Patreon supporters, regardless of what tier you're on. But within the Discord server itself, there will be particular things that certain tiers have access to and whatnot.
Not safe for work. Can I run that one?
Yeah, you can.
You can post memes. That
you know what
you can post memes that people are kind of nervous to post.
Do you know what that channel is going to be called? Tips and Bits.
Oh, just the tip and just the bit.
Okay.
I'll run that one. Everybody's just post whatever they want to. No rules.
Just right.
Yeah.
Anyway. So yeah, patreon.com/Bourbon Podcast. We got a new Patreon supporter this week too. I know you know about that.
Yeah,
so we'll discuss that here shortly. Well, I guess it's going to be at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
And tickets are on sale for not only the live show that is happening on Memorial Day weekend with Peggy Noah Stevens, where she is going up against Eric in a pair-off. I'm working on the
Dawn
category.
Nishida's already starting to rumble it on the Instagram.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I got work. I got work to do.
I'm working on the pairings in my head too. So you guys are going to have 5 rounds.
Okay.
Each round is going to be themed.
Okay.
And you both have to bring to me
those themes, those things that go with the theme.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, that works.
Yeah.
I'll probably be the one that you're like, go back. That doesn't work. And she's like, above and beyond. She's like, I've curated a whole 5-course meal for each.
Well, if you've noticed, this is my way of being fed and well fed and well poured.
So are we still trying to have guest judges, or are you just taking it?
No, we are going to have guest judges as well, especially for when I can't make a good decision.
Oh, yeah.
So we got some folks on retainer, man. If you listen to last week's episode, you might have a little bit of a hint as to somebody who could show up.
Yeah.
But if they call back this week, too.
They busy.
They busy. But if they go out of their way during, it would be so funny.
Hold on.
But the tickets were initially available for the Patreon community, so that is where you could have got them first and foremost. The VIP Plus tickets sold out before they ever went beyond Patreon. But now everything else is still available to the general public. That includes general admission for the live show, which gets you access to the show itself. It gets you a free drink, some appetizers. We're going to have a little sample of something for you to take home as well, just like we did last year. Oh, man, that would be fun to do, like a live Samply Irresistible with everybody.
If you're part of the VIP, you get that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because we're going to record all the Patreon content on Friday.
That's right.
So, those VIP tickets are still available. The VIP Plus are sold out, but VIP gets you a lot of stuff going on Friday. And we're going to do record the Patreon content Friday night at the Bottle Share with everybody. So, yeah.
And I think that's... there's going to wind up being like swag and everything, too, for everybody. I haven't even gotten around to telling you this yet. There's going to be a little goodie bag for people who are staying at the hotel too from Visit Lex.
Really?
Yeah.
Do I get one?
Sure.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
Because I forgot about it for a while. There's a lot of things going on that we have forgotten to talk about.
Well, I think that this year we've got things started a little earlier.
Like our barrel pick.
You've not updated me on this either.
Well, you know who it's going to be with.
I know. I'm just saying. But I think we had a lot of time to prepare extra goodies because we got things started earlier this year than last year.
Yeah.
And it is picking up a little bit of extra. People know about it. People hear about it. And I think it's nice to have people from Lexington involved because...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's where we're at.
Because this is my hometown. This is where I grew up. And I always say I have more like state and city pride than I do like country pride, if that makes sense.
The sausage?
I love country pride sausage, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you know what's better than country pride is Jake's sausage.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Jake's cigar bar has sausage.
You smoke a sausage.
Well, yeah. Smoked sausage is really good. I had it for dinner for last night. For dinner for last night.
I
couldn't get out of that sentence somehow.
I was just stuck in it.
I was like a car.
I'm stuck in this sentence that I just can't get out of. Mud.
I just kept revving the engine and nothing was happening. Tires were spinning.
Just saying the same thing over. You can't get out.
Yeah. Anyway, so the link is in the description for you to buy tickets. We are so very excited about the weekend itself. I know you're probably going to get a little bit tired of us talking about it because we do still have a couple of months before it happens.
We got to get ready, baby.
But the thing is, it's 2 months away.
That's not long.
No, it's not.
You got to have time to plan.
Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff you can do around this.
And the hotel booking link is going to be in the description as well. So get on that. Eric, you told me that you had flying blind for this week.
I do. I need 2 glasses.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want to see what you think. So...
Is this for Matt Madness? Because I don't want to do it
no,
right now.
No, nothing Matt Madness. It is a Madness, but a different Matt. Our buddy Matt. So I'm going to put you through the last portion of Matt Wrestling with Whiskey.
Oh, duh.
So this is sorry, there's not a lot, so you got to do it. So it came down to these 2.
Wait, so you don't have anything for yourself?
I'll sip on something.
I'll blind you with something too.
But it came down to these 2 pours for our pick. So
this is both New Riff.
This is New Riff.
Oh.
Spoiler alert for the section that comes about 5 minutes later of what you've been drinking. I did a pick, and I'll talk about that. But so we got down to these final picks for Wrestling with Whiskey. And this was Whiskey Mania Part 5. And we've been doing like a Star Wars theme. Like 4 was like a New Hope. So this is Whiskey Mania Part 5, like Whiskey Mania Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And since we've all kind of done the pick, there was a couple new people, but we wanted to do something that felt like kind of dark, different. It's not your typical like, oh, this is the sweetest. This is what everybody wants to have. This is the Empire Strikes Back.
Give me one of your glasses so I can pour you a.
So I want you to taste these and tell me which one you think is the Empire Strikes Back of the 2.
The wiener.
The wiener. Okay.
It's blind.
I know. Ooh, that smells good. All right.
Thank you. Whoa. Based on the nose, I think it's this one.
Okay.
Oh, that's good, though. This one. This guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was sample 5, which we picked. So.
Better finish, better palate up front. It's a little bit smoky and oaky. Mm-hmm. The nose is so far and above anything that I've ever gotten from New Riff. Too.
Isn't it right?
I mean, it is so uncharacteristic for New Riff.
Yeah. So on the sample, we got 5 samples, and they're supposed to randomly put them on your paper. We don't really look at the paper until we're done and stuff, but it really was like a curated like tasting. It went from like a classic, just like sweet bourbon, and then it kind of went to like a darker kind of like, you know, when we think of like Heaven Hill, it's kind of like brown cinnamony. Then 3 was kind of this nutty weird thing, but kind of like a bean product. You get that? And then 4 and 5 went like out there. They were like complex,
for sure.
dark, not what you would think. And it came down to the 4 and the 5, and we went with 5. And 4, that was the one you had.
And 4 is a really good runner-up. I mean, I would have been happy with 4 as well.
Yeah.
But 5 is so on the money, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
I got you a bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to wait till they're bottled and stuff, but I'll put them back for you.
Buddy, I appreciate that. I wish I could meet Matt in person.
Well, we'll see. I'll see him again when we do the pickup, so maybe if I give you enough heads up, we can go. We were thinking about grabbing some lunch or something and
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Up in Newport.
Uh-huh.
What do you think about what I blinded you with?
I think this is real nice. Is this a Knob Creek?
It's a Knob Creek pick.
It has a Knob Creeky.
Yeah. This is the one that I was texting with a friend about that you were in the same group with.
Oh yeah, Swan.
The other day.
Yeah.
Asking if they wanted to.
Yeah, Swan's doing really good. Yeah, this is that Jackson.
Yeah.
Knob Creek.
Yeah.
That's really good.
10 years, almost 10 months old.
Yeah. That's good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it was
when y'all were talking, I was like, could it be another Knob Creek that's just kind of
No, dude. This is like
I like this.
It's the Knob Creek pick that I've been waiting for to make me feel like Knob Creek is on the up and up.
It doesn't taste like just the normal Knob Creek that you can get off the shelf. It's got almost a in the peanut category, almost like a caramel corn. I know caramel corn is not a nut, but I'm saying in like that salty snack, it's like a caramel corn.
Yeah,
like Cracker Jackie. I like this.
It's really freaking good. So I've gotten to know the son of the owner.
Okay.
Over the past couple of years at this point, because I bought 3 dozen of their other Knob Creek pick that I loved so much. And found out about podcasts and everything. They recognize me now. But I was messaging with him the other day, and I was like, how do you guys keep getting the best Knob Creek barrels in Lexington?
Yeah.
And they do. They just keep picking the best Knob Creek barrels. This was a short barrel. There were 90 bottles. Yeah.
Really? Damn.
That was a little chody boy.
Short king, baby. A little short king. Listen, they don't discriminate.
They do not.
They know there's a self around a knob.
They do not. But, I mean, it's
that's good.
It's one of the best Knob Creek picks I've had in a long time.
I like that.
And I think that it is a good sign that we are starting to get into the double digit, age Knob Creek picks. So I'm here for it, man.
Maybe keep building that relationship though.
Oh, we're working on it.
Do a little collab.
We're working on it.
Okay.
Okay. I've already I've already inquired.
Okay.
So I also have to now inquire, what have you been drinking
What
recently?
have I been drinking?
Tell me.
I will say, I know we talked earlier about like me going to day shift and stuff. I will say I've not drank a whole lot more. I've actually drank less because of working. But when I come home and I've worked all day and I've helped with bedtime and I have about 15 minutes left before I'm going to sleep and I have a little pour of something, I have appreciated the little pours I've had lately more than I ever did. It really does feel like, hey, this is as opposed to coming home, working all night and being like, I'm going to have a pour and go to sleep and I got to wake up again. I'm not going to, and then sometimes not even having anything.
Yeah.
I've really just sat and enjoyed the things I've had, like one pour of something, and that's all I need. And I'm like, man, this is nice.
Yeah.
This is nice. I did a collab with Whiskey Morgue. We paired up all the Scream films. He picked the whiskey and paired it with the movie, and then I took the whiskey he picked and I paired a snack with it. So you can go to my Instagram or Whiskey Morgue's Instagram. You can see that. So I did a couple of those one night, and you can see that. But the big thing I think is, like I mentioned earlier, I went to New Riff and got to pick a whiskey, Wrestling with Whiskey New Riff that we do every year for that group. Like I said, this was year 5, part 5, so we went with kind of The Empire Strikes Back theme. But man, okay, let me tell you. So the special pour, we got two special pours after the pick. If you've picked at New Riff, Perry's had a couple of picks. People listening probably have picked. You get to go through everything, and then at the end, they kind of give you a little special pour.
Yeah.
And we did one of the newer like whiskey club things that they have. I can't remember. It was like 100% malted thing or something like that. It was pretty good. But then she brought out a bottle that just had like a kind of like a blank label on it. And it was a barrel proof Balboa rye. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. I want it.
Like,
I want it.
We've got very little, but it was good. It was good. So then after the pick, we were kind of hanging out. We had our little parking lot hangout that we do after the pick. And I prepared a little pairing for everybody.
Nice.
We had some Nutty Buddy with Elijah Craig 18, so that was fun. And then one of the this is the first time I've met him. He had a chance to join the pick. His let me look at his Instagram handle. I don't want to say his real name on here because he works for Michter's.
Oh, okay.
He works for Michter's, but he also has a cool little Instagram that he's got put together. It's Sips and Flicks. He's kind of like Whiskey Morgue. He pairs whiskey with stuff like that. But he let me try. He took what is essentially the sour mash.
Mm-hmm.
He had it blended together in a bottle at barrel proof. Michter's. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'm not. They're not listening. He loses his job or something. But that's where it's at. The sour mash is good. The toasted. I mean, it is what it is. But barrel proof sour mash. Barrel proof, like toasted sour mash.
I dig that.
Boy. And I only had like a little medicine cup size, like half of that.
And I mean, like, that's, that bottle is what, like 86 proof or something?
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm
sub
saying.
90 proof?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Give me the barrel proof. Everything at Michter's, just give it to me at barrel proof. That's all I'm saying. So that was great. I got to have a little pour. What you got? Okay. Just pulled up a smoke wagon. I did have. We both had this. One night, I had a little bit of Matt ADHD Whiskey's the apple brandy finished Nulu. It's real good. Probably the best Nulu apple brandy that I've ever had.
I thought this was the only one.
Granted, that's the only one I've had. I think it is the only apple brandy finished Nulu. Don't hold me to that. But it's really good. I like that. If you got to pick that one up, pretty good. The proof is really good.
Yeah, 123 proof. Finished in total for 14 months. I think it was finished in the toasted barrel for 10, and then the brandy barrel for 4.
Right.
And it was already 6 years old before it went into the finishing process.
I think it's kind of just a dangerous pour. Like you're not. It's not one you want to sit and like, oh, what am I getting here? Like it's one like you kick back and like you're like, ooh, that's 120 proof. Let's go for another glass.
Yeah, I'm gonna have about an ounce or two more of this, and then it's getting put back in the shelf for a rainy day.
I like that.
So yeah, it's really killer, man. Very nice too of Nulu to allow Matt to do something so unique as an apple brandy finish on one of their bourbons.
I enjoyed it.
So this is one of the things I've been drinking recently because I saw it at Total Wine. No, Liquor Barn. Who shops at Total Wine?
I don't know.
I saw it at Liquor Barn, just sitting on the counter, and it's the Smoke Wagon Uncut, the Younger.
This was one of the smoke wagons that you really enjoyed.
It's one of the that
we reviewed it.
Like made me kind of convert over to being a fan of Smoke Wagon. Okay, sorry, we had a little audio mishap there.
Yeah, that was me cleaning my glass and just making a mess.
How dare you?
Here you go.
But yeah, I saw it at I don't even remember what we were talking about.
But you got it.
But I got it. You know, this is only the second bottle of Smoke Wagon that I've ever actually bought. Too.
The second?
So
what was the first?
Uncut, Unfiltered.
Oh yeah, the old daddy of it.
Yeah.
This is the Younger.
Which I don't know why I like the Younger better, but here we are.
Yeah, you usually prefer older.
Yeah. 116.34 proof.
That's some good stuff.
It's not bad. But I had that. I had that Knob Creek pick that Eric just had, and then back behind this Wild Turkey bottle right there is a Carolina Whiskey Society single barrel of Elijah Craig barrel proof.
We tried this, didn't we?
No.
What?
It just came earlier this week.
Which one? Did you have another one from like North Carolina?
That was from our friends at the Blind Rabbits.
Oh. Well.
Whiskey Society.
I'll get to that.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
8 years old and like 125 proof.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
It doesn't drink like it.
Oh.
Excited for you to try it. So we've been talking a lot about single barrels today.
Yeah.
And we've been talking a lot about single barrels recently.
Yeah.
So I figured after kind of prompting ourselves last week to have this conversation, it was time for us to get into it. But the question that was raised was, are single barrels as important now as they used to be? And are they as good as they used to be? Now, we've had a similar conversation to this in the past, but I think that the landscape of the bourbon market and the bourbon industry has changed so vastly and so aggressively over the past even year, but past couple of years.
Yeah.
That I think it at least begs like us revisiting this topic of conversation.
Yeah.
So what I'm mostly talking about, I'm not really talking about like on the shelf single barrel offerings from, Knob Creek, Russell's Reserve, even
picks.
Benchmark.
Picks.
We're talking about picks. We're talking about single barrel selects from groups, from stores, from podcasts, YouTube channels, everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be part of what we talk about with this as well. But I kind of want to start off part of this by saying that I am overwhelmed by the amount of single barrel picks that are out there now.
Okay.
And maybe it's just like the longer that I've been into bourbon, the more I've started seeing the fact that like there are more picks out there. Maybe it was always at this volume and I just never really noticed. But I just like, I can't try everything, even though I want to.
Oh yeah.
You know? But I don't even know if that like devalues single barrel picks. Where do you kind of fall with this?
Well, I think the thing that I think we got to look at as far as it being overwhelming is the difference between picks back in the day, which I'm just talking like 5-6 years ago to now. We didn't have as many YouTube people, podcasts doing picks and stuff. You know, I feel like
it was a very novel concept.
It was stores, or it was like, you know, exclusive groups or restaurants, and there wasn't as many to choose from. But now you really, if you follow a podcast or a YouTube channel and they've kind of built up a following and, you know, got viewers and maybe making a little revenue or something enough to be able to do single barrels, like they're going to have a single barrel for you. And that's perfectly fine. Like that, I'm not saying that's a knock at anything. We've done our own single barrel picks. But as far as like being overwhelmed,
and we will continue to do.
Yes. Yeah. And we're going to, as far as being overwhelmed. Yes. Because a lot of those people you're friends with, and you see their posts, you hear about them and stuff like that. Every group and everything has a special bar or something. They're doing that. I see what you're saying about being overwhelmed and you can't try anything. That's the same as me. I want them all. I want to try them all, but you can't. I don't necessarily see that as a problem, other than I think the brands notice that that's what a lot of people are doing and want to do. So maybe more not so special barrels are getting put into picks. So you're not getting it's hard to find that like pick that everybody's talking about that's like that's the one. You know what I mean? Like that bar, that restaurant, that store they've got the best so and so pick ever. Now you know it's spread out more. There's more to choose from, so it doesn't feel as special as much as like when it was harder to get picks. And I'm not saying that people are picking like average barrels, but when you do a pick, you only get to choose from what they're letting you choose.
Yeah.
So maybe there's not as many like really unique things. You're just picking something good.
You know, and like there was a period too where someplace like Liquor Barn or a restaurant that had a good rapport with the distillery would go in, be given, 3 or 4 barrels to choose from. They say, this ain't it.
Yeah, give me more.
And then they choose from other barrels.
Yeah.
I mean, that I know of many occasions when that has happened. And now it's just kind of like we're being resigned, whether intentionally or unintentionally, to just like, this is what we got. Yeah. Or this is what you have to pick from.
Or our distiller picked this, so you get to put your name on it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even pick it.
Yeah.
Like it's just the distiller select or something. Like
that. And I think that kind of like, I'm so sorry.
Get it.
I'm so snotty and so stuffed up.
It's
driving me crazy. But anyway, I think it goes to what you were kind of getting at, that we're not getting largely like bad picks. We're getting good picks and sprinkled here and there some great ones.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago, it was like it was more rare to find an okay or a good pick versus a really great one.
Yeah, because some of the people that you follow or the podcast or something like the podcast or like It's Bourbon Night, like they were part of, maybe they were part of like one barrel for something, and you were like, oh, that's the one right there.
Exactly.
As opposed to, you know, and I hopefully people aren't thinking that I'm throwing shade. I'm not. Like, I'm saying, like, there's more there's more opportunities now. Yes, there's a ton of like podcast picks or Oak and Thieves or It's Bourbon Night picks, but there was something about when it first started, and it was like just that one. It's like, oh, did you hear? Like, they got to do a pick with this brand or something like that. And like, that's the one you were like looking forward to, and they probably...
I miss those days.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Like, it was a different animal 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. And I, again, like, not to kind of point the finger or anything, which... talk about something here in a second, too.
Pointing at me.
Pertaining to them. But I think the first like exclusive single barrel program by content creators that I can really remember was Bourbon Pursuit.
Yeah.
But they were also like the leading bourbon podcast. I mean, they still are.
Yeah.
But like the bourbon podcast that people listen to.
Yeah.
Kenny and Ryan said yes, by the way, to
let's go.
Our podcast idea.
Let's do it.
So
I'm ready.
Now that you have nights and weekends available.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna get that nailed down here soon. But
yeah, you would hear about like, do you hear Bourbon Pursuit got a Willet barrel and like it like crashed like the message board, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it's just that it was just different. And like everything, it's going to progress. Things are going to get more popular, and that's just the way it goes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But it makes you think sometimes like, man, remember that barrel from back in the day and all that stuff. So,
and this goes back to, I realized that I didn't articulate this particularly well last week, but in the haze of running around like chickens with our heads cut off.
I'm surprised that episode even got out.
It took a lot.
It was something.
It took a lot of effort. And somehow it was almost 2 hours long. Yeah. So thank you, kind people, for listening and supporting this show.
That's Timbip.
That's Timbip. What I was getting at was that while single barrels, like, you know, with something like Rare Character or EJ Curly, which, by the way, what's happened to EJ Curly?
I don't know.
Are they still around?
I don't know.
I'm confused.
My bad luck predictions once again came to fruition because at one point I was like, "This is where it's at, right here." Yeah.
Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, we love you. Please don't go under.
Don't go anywhere, Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company.
Please stay with us. We got a nice guest room for you to hang out in.
I got a basement
for a long time. But the idea is that like those single barrels are a good indication of the tools that they are working with, depending on the institution, right? But and I'll go back to that in a second. But what you're really trying to get the most value out of is what they do when they take those individual barrels and blend them together.
Yeah.
Because that at the core is not only, I think, a better representation of who they are as a larger company, but I think it also just, you know, I mean, they've got to have a good product for revenue stream.
I mean,
as well,
you get a barrel, you let it sit, and you let people put it in a bottle, and if it's good, it's good. Like, but when you take those barrels and you use your own methods of blending and you use your palate to be like, oh, this is a good enough product to put out, or this is the product we want to put out. Yeah, like you said, that shows your not only enthusiasm, but your skill as a brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know that I named Rare Character and Curly, but like that's even a different part of the conversation too, because they are NDPs. They source their product. Whereas someplace like, again, Jim Beam or Wild Turkey, they're making their own. So the single barrels that are going into Knob Creek or Russell's Reserve or Kentucky Spirit, that is their own product. Yeah. They have made that.
Yeah.
And I think I can't remember exactly who it was that said it. I almost want to attribute it to Marie. No. I almost want to attribute it to Booker No, and I don't think it was him that said it. But the idea that the single barrel is the truest representation of what a distillery is capable of. Right?
Yeah.
So thinking that, keeping that in mind, hearing that statement, to me, means that maybe we should have more weight put on single barrel picks. Because there should be a consistency in quality. And I understand that there are these varying factors that you can't overcome because weather or something was off with the still that day, or the mash may have just, eaten the yeast differently during fermentation. But there is just, I feel like there shouldn't be that much variation.
It's like a band who can put out a great song.
Yeah.
And then go out and play it live. A live version of your favorite band or song is the single barrel. There's nothing.
Yeah, that's actually a really good metaphor.
There's nothing, I know nowadays there's a lot of extra stuff they can do to make things sound good, but essentially you play that song live in front of people, that's it, raw, uncut, unblended, everything. And then the blended product is that song you hear on the radio or
that's been mixed and mastered,
and you're taking other things and you're blending it and you're taking the rough edges off and you're making it appealing to everybody else. So when you can make that song and then you can play it live and people still enjoy it and get the same reaction and film it and put it on YouTube and it sounds just as good, that's where you've won.
Yeah.
Your single barrel, your uncut stuff is just as good as your blended stuff.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. So I know that there are aspects of this that we could go on a long time about, but I mean, I am genuinely curious how people still feel and think about single barrel picks because, and the other thing I think that we're kind of getting at too is that at some point it stopped being this special thing that only particular entities were able to participate in. And then all of a sudden it was just like, yeah, everybody can do it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's programs anybody can go.
You got the money. Money talks.
You can do it. I still think single barrel picks are special.
I do too. I'm not saying that they aren't.
No, but
and more often than not, I am probably picking up a single barrel.
Yeah.
Some kind of pick. But at the same time, I mean, like I said, I'm on a Turkey 101 kick right now.
Yeah.
Too. So
I think
that's a batch product.
Yeah. I think I just tend to now I don't look beyond and out of the way for single barrel picks from people I don't know. Now, like we said earlier, there's so many, you kind of just support and you follow along with the people that you already know and you look at their picks. I'm not saying that I'm never going to get a pick from anybody out of state or I've got those, but
yeah,
I tend to maybe gravitate towards the people I trust, the people I want to keep grabbing their picks, as opposed to seeking, going on the boards or going on the groups and being like, oh, how do I get this pick from friggin', whatever, New York or something like that. But I'm always willing. If somebody sends me like, hey, we got a pick. You want to get a bottle? I'm like, yeah, let me do it. So
speaking of picks from out of state. Yoink.
All right. Let's see, Carolina, what you got. Is this both North and South Carolina?
No, this is North Carolina.
North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Shake it around your head like a helicopter.
I don't want to take my shirt off. I'm self-conscious.
Come on.
I'm not taking my shirt off, dude.
You can. I don't care.
But I don't want to. There's a difference, you see?
You can take it off and put it back on.
Do like a snap at it.
Yeah.
You just missed it.
All right.
You want to see me run to that mountain and back? Want to see me do it again?
So we have had our fair share of Elijah Craig picks. Remember when the Elijah Craig pick was not around anywhere, and we were like, "We got to get one.
We got to find one."
Got bourbon on my chin.
Well, the first one that we ever got was Mash and Journey.
Oh yeah,
and we had to like finagle getting that from Jason.
Well, yeah, it was, and we were like splitting it and doing all this stuff. Like it was, and then Swan found us one.
Oh, that Kroger pick?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that Kroger pick was so good.
This doesn't smell like Elijah Craig. What's different about this? It doesn't smell like a Heaven Hill product at all. It's so sweet on the nose.
Yeah, it's like a smoky sweetness.
Yeah.
Kind of like smoked caramel, if that ever such a thing were to exist.
Not... This is good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's smoky on the finish.
Yeah.
That ain't 125 proof. They lied. 125.7.
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well,
that's about 101 proof.
It's so good though, dude.
That's really good.
Bum, bum, bum.
That tastes like a smoked old fashioned. Like it's already been smoked.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a smoked old fashioned, and you poured it into a glass.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, Carolina. I see you. Carolina Whiskey Society. Who do you think? Do you think it'll be like just a random place or like a well-known name? Who do you think gets an Elijah Craig barrel proof pick that's over 12 years?
Fred Minnick.
Okay. All right. There you go. There you go.
Don't you think?
Could you imagine seeing like 13 on that bottle? Like normally?
I'd lose it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely lose it, dude.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Anyway. Are you excited for this review?
I've been staring these boys down. Been staring them down. Clean my glasses.
I'm cleaning mine as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about the process that we went through in getting these. There was a Zoom tasting yesterday with Jack Daniels, with Chris Fletcher, their master distiller, where he walked everybody through the tasting of these two samples, talked about the production of it and everything, but I hadn't gotten the samples yet.
You just listening?
I was just listening.
Okay.
I was just hanging out and having a good time and enjoying everybody's presence. So I had to listen to everybody talk about how good it was.
Oh, no.
Matt Porter was under the weather, too.
Oh, no.
He popped up on screen at one point just to say thank you, and he was more stopped up than I am right now. And you could just looking at him, you could tell he wasn't feeling good. He's just so puffed. No. It kind of looked like he'd been crying.
He probably has. You probably made him cry.
It's a possibility.
You probably talked to him before that and made him cry. That's what you do.
Matt Porter does more than just cry.
I mean, he does
sometimes he's mean to people.
He is mean to people. Sometimes he's overly nice to people.
Yeah.
He's just an all-around good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you have not been part of his thing, people are like, well, I need to be part of Matt Porter's stuff. He's busy.
Who said that?
Just people I've heard.
Okay.
They just want to be his friend.
I like being his friend.
I love being his friend. He gives the best hugs.
Excuse you.
What? Other than you. No, I can't wait to see him again.
I would say Matt and I give really good hugs.
You could make an OnlyFans of that.
And when we hug each other,
yeah, it's like a fusion.
It almost is like just this ray of sunshine just emits from us. But anyway, so
I need to be in the middle of that.
There's always room, especially now that Matt's lost a bunch of weight. Is that a mean thing to say?
No, he made a video about it. He's doing great. He's doing his thing. You have too. Don't forget that.
I'm trying, man.
You're doing it.
Thank you. I don't feel. I almost had an anxiety attack over it last night because I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, and I probably have body dysmorphia as it is.
Yeah.
I was like looking at myself. I was like, you've not made any progress. You're not looking as good as you think you have. People are just like blowing smoke, trying to make you feel good about it and everything. But like, I mean, I got up this morning and I was like, oh no, you do look like you have lost some weight.
But the thing is, I think you're used to yourself every minute, every second of the day.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see a change when you're seeing yourself constantly. So when somebody like me who gets to see you like once a week or, just through text or something, sees you and says, man, you're making progress. Like that's the good sign.
And I appreciate it too. I'm not trying to like fish for compliments.
No.
I genuinely was like, I had almost a full-on breakdown over it last night. But anyway, I don't even think I've talked about what it is that we're actually reviewing. So we have the batch 2 of Jack Daniel's 10-year, 97 proof, and batch 1 of Jack Daniel's 12-year.
12-year,
at
baby.
107 proof. Now, the 10-year is going to be $70 a bottle.
Okay.
The 12-year is going to be $80.
I like that.
I don't have any problem with it.
I like that a lot. 12. Look at that. Look at that gold shining on just this little sample bottle.
But anyway,
all gold in my chain. All gold in my rings.
I'm so sorry. But so the samples did get here, but they got here yesterday at like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Well, here we are, baby.
Here we are. So I figure that we'll just go up in age and up in proof. Have I had even just the first batch of the Jack 10? I don't think I have.
I don't remember unless somebody sent us a sample. I haven't.
We haven't gotten a sample, but I feel like I was someplace. I might have had it with Will and Grease when I was in.
I can't. I'm sorry if somebody's like, well, you shared it at Whiskey Weekend or something. I don't remember if I had Jack 10.
I mean, it definitely wasn't at.
Ernie's never got any. Like I was constantly asking them, and they were like, "No, they just aren't sending us."
Well, they're trying to roll out more of it nationwide. So, but you weren't the only person who got told no, we don't have any.
Yeah,
because it really did get bought up that quickly.
Yeah.
So,
cheers. Oh my. When you smell a good Jack Daniels, you know exactly that it's a good Jack Daniels. Oh,
that is such a wonderful nose.
It's French toasty. It's breakfast.
It's French toast with fresh berries on top.
Ooh.
It's got that red berry thing that Jack Daniels products typically have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, French toast with berries and syrup and everything mixed together.
It's a little dry.
Because right now I'm dangerous. I want more.
You're just going for the second sip already. I could crush some of this, dude.
Oh. What's the proof on this one?
97.
That's bad. Like, good bad. Like, oh.
The finish is a little bit light.
Oh, yeah, it's light, but I wouldn't.
But I don't have,
97 proof?
I don't know. Maybe it isn't light. Maybe I'm still enjoying it. I think I am now that I think about it.
I'll take back everything I said about just loving Jack Daniel's barrel proof. Because thinking about the limited stuff they've had that's been lower proof, like, they do it.
It's been killer, dude.
They do it.
Could you imagine, though, a 10-year-old barrel proof product from them?
I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to right now.
You don't want your pants to get too tight.
Yeah. I got like windbreaker style pants on right now.
To the point where I would definitely hear it if anything happened.
Yeah, oh wow, this is really good, and I honestly can't. I can't think of something different on the palate that I didn't already say on the nose. It's maybe more berry forward.
Corn pudding.
Corn pudding?
Corn pudding, dude.
It's definitely sweet. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I see purple and red when I taste this. Purple and red. I see the berries. I see all these berries. I don't get a lot of corn. I get the sweetness, but it's like wild berries, like all mixed together. Like I can just imagine like a bunch of purple and red just being mixed together.
I just love this.
It's really good.
It's so good.
Oh, that's super good.
My gosh. Typically too, I will like wait. Well, no, that's not true. The opposite of what I was about to say. I will typically, if we get like samples for review.
They already open.
I'll have a little bit just to try it and see what's going on. I waited on you.
Yeah. I saw you open it this time.
Yeah. Because I just like, my curiosity gets the best of me. But then it was like, with this, I was just thinking, it's already been this long. I've already waited this much.
You went through a whole Zoom listening to
yeah, exactly. I had to listen to other people drink this. So I figured, I'll just wait until I'll let my first reaction actually be recorded with Eric. So
here we are. First reaction.
Also, I want to speak to, and I know that this might seem a little bit counterintuitive because yes, it was just people who were on the call that are like content creators, have really stuffy noses too. But no, like content creators or industry insiders, people like us.
People who get samples.
People who get samples. I applaud and appreciate Jack Daniel's for being so transparent about every step of their process. They talk about where the barrels were in the rick house. They talk about their mash bills. They talk about what they went into and came out of the barrel at proof wise. I mean, they will even say, like, even in the call.
Did they say what this was at barrel proof before it got put to 97?
If Chris did, I can't remember for sure.
I gotta stop thinking that way.
But I think I know, right? But if I remember correctly, I think that he said that it was lower than
what we're used to.
Well, it was lower than like Coy Hill.
Gotcha.
Like, I think he said that it was like upper 120s.
Yeah.
So I just appreciate that. It's something that we harp on a lot, but I think is so nice to hear and see.
I wish people. I've told this story 1,000 times. And it's probably not even, I don't know how many listeners we have that are Kentucky only. Like, I feel like we've got people from every state ever. But there is still, to this day, people in our area that refuse to try Jack Daniels because it's quote, Tennessee whiskey. And I even had somebody walk out of the line because we were in line for a Liquor Barn release back in the day, and it was Stag Junior. And it was coming down to like the last couple bottles. I was like, I don't think I'm going to make it. This guy beside me thinking the same way. And in my head, I was like, I need something new. And Liquor Barn had their Jack Daniels Barrel Proof on the shelf. And that guy goes, well, I ain't going to get another one today. I go, this was before I was like, even like content and all that stuff. Yeah. I was trying to be like that, like, hey, man, I know I've tried some stuff. I go, hey, you want an alternative to Stag Junior? Try that Jack Daniels Barrel Proof. He goes, no, I don't drink Tennessee whiskey, and he just left. Yeah, and he didn't get it. We were like about 5 people short of getting it, but I did. I went home with Jack Daniels Single Barrel Proof, and I was very happy. And that's still a thing around here. Like, people still don't want to even think that Jack Daniels is good because it's from Tennessee.
I mean, it was up until within the past couple of years that Chad Perkins didn't want to drink anything Jack Daniels.
Yeah, because I was nervous when I gave him an empty barrel proof bottle to make into a candle. I thought he was going to throw it back at me.
So while we were sitting here, speaking of Chad and Sarah,
I
was thinking about this. Because they've got the glass cutter and everything. I wonder if Sarah would make me a guitar slide out of a bottleneck.
I'm sure she could.
Or even like a couple.
I mean,
just so
what other than just cutting the neck off, like what?
I mean, she'd have to like round it over.
Yeah.
Which they do anyway for their candles.
You find the neck and then they just round the edges and you've got a slide.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just think it would be cool.
You just made them more money.
Yeah.
Because people listening, I want to slide.
Chad and Sarah, you're welcome.
Yeah, there you go.
But like, I mean,
probably this wouldn't work.
No, definitely not.
Wild Turkey 101 would work.
But for the turkey, though, I mean, it would have to be like from there up.
Yeah.
Because you can't have that other like rounded lip. But then I also have to figure out whether or not like. That would have to be a pinky slide. At that point, which I actually need a pinky slide anyway.
At that point, though, it's kind of just for you because you're the only one that can tell. It's like you're the only one that knows.
Oh well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but even still, like, I'd like to. I've never found a slide that I really love.
I thought they just cut this off and you use this as a slide.
Just the bottom. Have you seen that video? It was circulating on TikTok and Instagram for a little while. But there was a guy in like a Nashville bar who was on stage playing. He was drinking like a Miller High Life, and he sticks it in his mouth, and he tilts his head back, and he's still like playing.
You're just soaking it,
and he's just chugging it. But then he takes it out and he starts playing his guitar with it too.
I would expect nothing else from Nashville.
It was wild, dude. It was wild, but it was good stuff. Anyway,
and we're back.
I'm not cutting any of that out.
I know. We're back to the review.
Oh, yeah. We're back to the... Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to take a sip of water, too, before I get into the 12
I'm ready.
Here.
I'm waiting. Oh.
I'm in bourbon heaven, yo.
But Perry, Jack Daniels isn't.
Shut up.
I'm surprised at how much 2 years is and proof, a little bit extra proof has made a difference.
2 years and 10 proof points higher, man. That is a world of difference. There is a cinnamon note that wasn't present before. There is more of that like French toasty syrupiness kind of going on as well. Oh my gracious.
Yeah, It's like you took the French toast with a little bit of berry and syrup and you added cinnamon and spice and you made just like a a mixture of like a spice cake and it just hits you in the nose too. You're like, oh my gosh. Oh.
My body wasn't ready.
The finish on that.
What? The crap.
The finish, you go for a ride, man. Like, it's cinnamon, but then it's
what?
Cinnamon?
Cinnamony?
I can't even, I'm trying to slow it down. I can't even say it.
Cinnamony.
Cinnamon?
Cinnamony.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamony.
Cinnamon.
Anemone.
Cinnamon on the finish, and then it goes into more fruit. That's what I was trying to say. It's spicy. Then
that's gonna make for a good TikTok.
Soothing. Please make it.
I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna do the one from last week where Lucy kissed me, but April didn't kiss you.
Yeah, I'm like, She's like, I ain't being in there. Get out. She was trying to like. That was the day that like the kids were home from school, and like so. The like the internet's going out and like stuff's going on and like somebody's asking for a phone, somebody's phone dies and stuff. So she was like, I'm getting Eric's phone so like somebody can watch something. And all she was coming down was trying to get the phone. And I was like, come over and be on the podcast.
Yeah.
She's like, no. I'm like, thanks.
Yeah, my wife will kiss me on camera.
Yeah. Mine will punch me on camera, bro.
She'd flip me off too.
Yeah. She'd punch me, make the podcast like make you edit more and then flip you off and walk away. That's just how we are.
I don't think your wife likes me very much. I'm kidding.
Lord have mercy. She wrote you a little note when she put our little flying blind Matt Mattis thing, said, you're both winners to me.
That's true.
But then she tries to act all hard ass on camera. So don't let April fool you.
Well, she also gave me and Lucy a lot of crap for our relationship too. This is incredible. This is my favorite thing that we've had this year.
Agreed.
I don't think it's perfect. I'm not teetering on like a 20 out of 20 score.
It's good though.
But it is unbelievably good.
Trying to think of a negative just to be that person.
$80 can be a lot of money.
$80 is a lot of money, but this is 12 years old.
It is 12 years old. I mean, it's a good value.
How many times have we paid $80 for 4 to 6 year olds? So?
A lot.
A lot. JD.
Y'all are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are absolutely killing it. Let's start with the 10-year for the review. Right. Nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. What are you giving the nose on the 10-year-old?
3.5, almost a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 as well. The palate is such a like wild all over the place journey. And what's funny is that I think I enjoy the palate on the 10-year as much as I do the 12-year, just kind of for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like a this is better than that kind of scenario. I know which one I would prefer to drink, but I also know that they have their own merits that are separate from the fact that one is just a version of the other that's 2 years older, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give the palate, and spoilers, this is going to be for both, a 4.5. You going to give it a 5?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep, I did.
Wow.
I just love, and if you probably picked up on this on a few things, I love when I smell something and then I go straight into the palate and it's the same or even better.
Yeah.
And I'm going to, and the 10-year is a 5 and the 12-year goes back a little bit onto like it's like a 4. Spoiler alert. I don't know that that 10-year, I don't know. It was just, I couldn't think of anything bad about it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think the 12-year, I expected it to be a step above it.
Yeah.
And I almost was like, man, I'm comparing it to this 10-year so much that the 10-year did its thing.
Yeah.
And I'm still contemplating the 12-year.
Yeah. Yeah. Finish for me on the 10-year is a 4.
Same.
It's phenomenal, dude. It keeps me wanting.
Well, my
to go back.
favorite thing that you said on this review was when you questioned yourself. You're like, wait a second, I think it is good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I instantly was like, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it short, or am I just enjoying this and wanting to hurry up and go back for another sip?
Exactly.
Yeah, like it makes me want more, but it also makes me stop and think and like, what am I having? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah. Price at $70. I'm going to deduct a little bit just because I know that this is something that is not the most affordable, but it is a very good value. 4.5. It's a 5?
This is a 10-year-old product that tastes way, way better than most 10-year-old products. Yeah. And it tastes like better than like 4 to 6-year-old MGP things that we've been trying lately. And it's almost half the price of those.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I can't help it. Like, I'll get into the 12. I love that 12 too. But I don't know, this 10, like, it's doing something to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I just need a little bit more.
That's fine.
I know we got Papa Ritter to take care of.
I like that Papa Ritter has now become like
he's always, it's like, if I take the bottles home for a picture or something, like, we always put Papa Ritter back some. But man, like, this 10, dude, like, that price is, it's very fair. And
sure.
Yeah, I'm okay with that price.
Yeah. I'm, like I said, I give it a 4.5. Final score on that one is a 15.5, I believe.
17.5 for me.
It's a good score.
How do I get a bottle of this?
Well, hopefully we can take care of that for you.
Okay.
12-year-old though.
Switching tracks, and this ain't going to be too far off from what we just did. What was that?
I don't know.
What did I say that was? I already spoiled it, and I don't want to say the wrong thing.
You said the palate was going to be lower than the one on the 12.
Yes.
I said that the palate was going to be the same on the 12 and the 10 because I do like the taste of them pretty equally.
The nose on the 12 is my favorite thing of the 12. The nose is my favorite thing.
It's not my favorite thing.
It's a 5. 5 on the nose. I can't deny that.
It's a 4 for me.
It takes the nose that I loved on the 10 and it adds to it. Like, yeah, I love the nose.
Well, I mean, yeah, my score is higher than it was on the nose for the 10-year, but there are other parts of this that I like better.
That's fine. I'm just saying, like, yeah, it adds. If this nose was what I got on the 10-year, I would have gave it a yeah. So anyway, yeah, I love the nose.
4 for me on the nose, 4.5 for me on the palate. No surprise if you're if you're playing along at home.
I'm like a 3.5 on the palate.
Wow, really?
I lose the stuff I got on the nose. The 10-year made me like keep creeping up, keep going up, and I just lose a little bit of that cinnamon and
I guess I'm not losing it. I think that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I just lose it. Like, the nose and the palate they don't flow like I got on the 10.
Yeah.
So I just lose it a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, still 3.5, though.
Finish is a 5. It's incredible. It just makes me want to keep going back and drinking more. But I still like sit with it for so long, and it's present, and it just is inviting. There's a savory note too that kind of pops up on the finish that I wasn't really getting on the palate. I love the finish on this, man.
It's almost a 5 for me. It's a 4.5.
Yeah.
I love the finish on this too. Like, is my score going to be the same? Oh no, it's almost close. Oh, I may have messed up. Not messed up as in like I messed up by my score. Like I may have said something before I should have.
Yeah.
I mean, my finish is freaking good.
Yeah. I'm going to keep the same price score that I gave on the 10-year, 4.5.
Four. Did I give it the same?
No, you gave a 5 on the 10-year.
Yeah. I think that, how much more is it?
$10. This is 80 as opposed to 70.
Okay, let me think about this for a second.
Honestly, like actually putting that, like saying that out loud makes me almost want to give it a 5. But I, again, am kind of like deducting a little bit just because I know that, $80 can be a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, I put it in the same criteria I just said for the 10-year is look at everything we got that we're paying more for and all that. I think it's just that I like the 10-year more than the 12-year. And I would rather, I feel like they could be almost the same price.
Sure.
If that makes sense. I'm a 0.5 off from the same score.
I'm higher on the 12-year than I am the 10-year. My final score was an 18.
Mine was a 17.
So all around, friggin' high marks for.
Oh my God.
Daggum.
Lord have mercy, Jack Daniels. What you doing, baby? Don't change anything. Dude. Are we going to be able to get bottles of these?
I hope so. These are contenders for.
This is the part that bums me out, though.
Whiskey of the year.
Because I'm always afraid I'm not going to get it.
I know.
I mean, I expect that from when we got BTAC samples and stuff like that. Like I didn't, but this, like, I want both of these.
Yeah.
And I want to have them again. I want to revisit them and be like, hey, dude, let's see if we still feel the same about them.
Thanks for that.
Sorry. I'm just pumped about these, man.
I'm so happy, man.
We have to blend them. Like a little blend.
We don't have to. Do you want to?
No, I meant duck. We have to blend them.
Oh, yeah, we do have to.
Just need a little. I like that.
You look mad about it.
Yeah, because it puts another
wrinkle.
A wrinkle.
Smells like a cigar lounge.
Oh, it does. It's way cigar-y. Went from like berries and stuff to cigar.
Mm-hmm. Darkened it up real nice. Oh, man, that's good. And the fruit starts popping out at the end, too. I love it when fruit pops out.
Fruit pop. Is that cereal?
No, I imagine it's a type of dessert.
Fruit pop.
Like a frozen dessert.
Oh, that's good. Now I really got to have both of them.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it. What? Stop it.
We got a barrel ring this week.
Are we doing barrel rings right now? We're just skipping tips and bits and everything.
No, we'll go to it. But remember,
I thought you were excited. You were like,
remember, like at the beginning of February, we did, barrel rings before.
Oh yeah, we did.
Because like I said before,
I'm just the co-host. I don't know what's going on.
Well, the reason in doing it now is because I felt like at the end it would get lost.
You're right.
This way, people know.
I'm sorry.
You're lost in the sauce.
I'm not. I mean, it's not even that. It's not like. It's just I'm so happy with these two things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you're lost in the sauce.
Yeah, I'm lost in the sauce. I know, but when you say sauce, people are like, "You had too much of the sauce."
No, not that.
This is so good. All right.
So we got a barrel rings this week. Like we said at the top of the show, if you want to contribute to this segment, you can do so by leaving a voicemail at 859-428-8253.
Let's go.
Here we go.
What up, guys? It's Tony D here. One of many Tonys in this group. Hanging out, 9:45 p.m.
Okay.
Sitting my ass on the couch.
Okay.
Single dad's life got me a little tired. Just enjoying a little episode 272. I saw you guys put up the barrel rank stuff up there, and I said, well, shit. Let me call these fuckers.
Let's go.
And, so here we are. Sipping on a little Bourbon distillery pick sample in anticipation for the Bourbon batch to drop. I'm looking forward to it. By the way, this distillery Bourbon is freaking delicious. Anywho,
I love the slur.
I got tickets for the Timbip Live. So I'm going to work my magic to try to be up there in Lexington and have fun with you all and meet you guys. I'm also dragging a buddy as well.
Okay.
So that's good. Yeah. Well, shit. Here we are. Well, thank you guys for everything y'all do. I love you guys. Love your show. Always been a big fan. And I'm probably going to cut this short before it gets any weirder. But anyway, I just wanted to fucking call and make sure this thing works.
Fucking right.
All right, man. See y'all. Bye.
Well, shit.
That was Tony B.
Tony B. Dropping S-bombs and F-bombs. That's how we do it.
Oh, man.
Bringing a friend to the live show. I mean, that's right. That's it right there.
That was a roller coaster of emotions.
I mean, sitting there on just chilling, drinking some Bernheim, sending voicemails. Fuck, that's great.
That was good. That was almost as good as the Charlie Brown voicemail.
Oh, that one was good. He kind of sounded like Charlie Brown toward the end.
Does anybody want to? I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but it was. I think the episode was called like "This is the best barrel ring we've ever gotten."
The Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
That was really good.
This is Charlie Brown. Why did you call here?
I love how straightforward he was. I forgot about that.
That's in the Timbip Hall of Fame right there.
Just straight up. Why'd you call here?
Yeah, so what we kind of assume happened was that the barrel rings number got spoofed by a telemarketer or something. And I don't remember exactly which episode it was, but if you go back and listen to it, we also called back and left a voicemail.
We did.
And he was not happy.
No.
Because he called us back. And then he didn't leave a voicemail at all.
Yeah, we went full blown like Charlie Brown on it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Oh, it was good stuff. But yeah, Call in.
Oh.
We love to hear it.
I want barrel rings every week.
I do
seriously,
too.
if you're listening, just call in. Like, it doesn't matter if you just call in and say hi. If you call in and say a hot take, you call in. Barrel rings.
It doesn't even have to be 2 minutes long.
No.
It could just be
you could
20
say,
seconds.
You could say, hey, I got tips and bits this week, and give like a recommendation. Or I tried this. What did you think about it? Just call in and say hi. Tell us anything. Like, I love that.
He's begging.
I am, because
He's begging for human interaction.
I listen to so many random podcasts, and there's not very many that have a segment where you can literally call in and leave a message and be on the podcast. Like, seriously, do it, please. I want this to be every week.
There's one that I listen to called A Hot Dog is a Sandwich.
Oh, that's a good debate.
Yeah, that's basically it kind of used to be. They're not as debatey as they used to be. But it's Mythical Chef Josh.
Yeah.
And they have a segment where people call in with voicemails, and the segment is called Opinions Are Like Casseroles.
Everybody's got one. Not all of them are good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do we have a hot take on food?
On food?
Yeah.
Because
we could call.
Like, do that and see if we get put on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that the hot brown is not as widely recognized as it should be.
I think the problem is it's got to be good. Some people don't do a good hot brown.
No, but like a good hot brown.
A good hot brown, yeah. Like, it's not talked about at all. I don't see that pop up on any like cooking show or something like the hot brown. Well, let's do that. Call in.
Okay.
And we'll be like, I think more people need to recognize the hot brown. Like, I want to see it on shows. I want to see it talked about. I want to see TikToks about making a hot brown. And it's magical. It's mythical.
I like what you did there.
Yeah, see.
Hello, you've reached the Hot Dog Hotline.
Leave us a message and we might just play it in an upcoming episode.
First off, those voices made me feel some sort of way.
I'm feeling pretty good right now, Eric.
Oh, my.
This is Eric and Perry from Lexington, Kentucky, also part of This Is My Bourbon podcast. And we have opinions on the hot brown, which is Kentucky's, I guess, like, not native dish, but our dish that people most know us for. But the thing is, like, we don't think that people talk about it.
I don't see TikTok recipes for the hot brown.
Yeah, there's no, like, hot brown hack.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there's so many variations you could do, but when you got a good hot brown, it's magical.
It's mythical.
It makes you feel something.
So what do you guys think? Is the hot brown not talked about enough? Have you had a hot brown?
Have you had a bad hot brown?
Because I feel like you can make a bad hot brown pretty easily, but a good hot brown.
A good hot brown is where it's at.
Where it's at.
Pour some bourbon over top of it too.
No, just drink your bourbon on the side.
I mean, I think you should pour bourbons over food all day long.
Anyway, love you guys.
Love you. That should be interesting.
We'll see in a couple weeks if that made it to air.
Okay.
Hot takes. High proof ones. For the segment, High Proof Hot Takes.
Don't make bad jokes.
Sure. I am tired of people having unnecessarily strong opinions on things.
I feel that.
It's really gotten on my nerves recently.
Yeah.
Too. I don't know. I don't really have any one thing to point to in particular. But I guess my actual hot take is everybody just needs to chill out.
Yeah, chill out, bro.
Chill out a little bit, man. Please.
Stop it. Get some help.
Ugh.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just because you don't like it doesn't mean somebody else is not going to like it. Or just because you just enjoy something doesn't mean you have to have the insider details that like dissect everything, and like they find one little thing that's like, that's why it's not good. So what?
It's cool to share information with other people.
Yeah. Don't tease people with like, you know what? I know what really happens.
And I want you to tell me.
And then I'm not going to tell you.
That I know and confirm my bloated ego.
Just drop the
tips
mic.
And bits.
Drop the mic on the floor. Tips and bits, baby.
I'll go ahead and talk about this because I've been saying for a while that we were going to get around to watching it, and we finally did. And oh my gosh, I loved every freaking second of it. I laughed. I cried. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Ah, finally. Isn't it so good?
It's amazing.
So good.
Ki-Hai Kwan, whom you might know as Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
And Goonies.
And the Goonies, too. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. Is a master at what he does.
Switching characters, going from like kung fu to like, you know, quiet husband and stuff like that.
So good. Just a masterclass in acting. And you don't, I mean, like you kind of pick up a little bit on what's going on, you know, the first time that he has that little shift. But they did such a great job with that movie in hiding the mystery of it. I just freaking enjoyed the heck out of it, man. I loved it. I loved every second of it. What a wonderful story too about, you know, good parental practices.
Yeah, I was gonna say relationships between kids and parents and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
God, I'm so glad you watched that.
It just took a while for us to get there, but you know, it's like most movies. It's now at the very least, it's like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah,
like it takes a lot of time to commit to and
hard.
Sit down and watch all the way through. But it's fantastic.
I love it.
It's so good, man. I was so happy with it. I started watching again, which I realized I actually have never seen the final season of, and there's plenty of parts of the show that I've forgotten. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Started from the beginning for the first time in so many years. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Just what?
Nothing.
You look like you were concerned with the fact that I said that.
No.
Okay.
I love the anime.
Okay. It's on Netflix, and I guess it's on Paramount Plus too for everybody. So if you haven't seen it, I highly, highly recommend it. And then one of my favorite video games of all time just got added to Nintendo Switch Online. Metroid Fusion.
I was going to say, is it Metroid?
It's Metroid Fusion. It's in my top 5 favorite games of all time.
I need to start playing that then.
It's funny because like I typically am, and I played it a lot. I played it a lot growing up. I typically, you know, take a little bit of time to like readjust to controls and start to, you know, before I really get the feel for it and everything. But I like, as soon as I started playing it last night, like Lucy was already asleep and I wasn't tired enough yet to go right to sleep. So I stayed up a little bit and played my Switch in bed.
Nothing wrong with that, baby.
And it just was like, it just fell. I fell back into the rhythm of it so easily and so naturally. But it's an incredible game, man. So
it sounds like me with Mega Man. Like every time like a new Mega Man comes out, it's kind of the same as it was in the past. Like, so you get back in that rhythm of like, you know,
I know how to do this.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
I know what's up.
I know what I've done before.
I mean, I guess Mario's kind of the same way too, but Are we gonna go? I think you and I should go see the Mario movie together.
Plan it? You'll have to go with a bunch of kids. I got a whole house that's waiting on tomorrow.
That's right. See, I was thinking we'd do
I love that. Once I said my kids, you were like, yeah, because you've been around my kids.
No,
so
it wasn't
much.
that.
But you've been around my kids so much. You're like, this is like a whole job.
It's not about your specific kids. It's about having to go to the movies with kids at all.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
And you know, the longer that I'm a dad, the more I realize, of course, that I don't just have the freedoms that I used to go.
Once she gets old enough to like have an opinion on stuff and she wants to watch the movies, you gotta start planning movie trips around her. So I got kids that grew up playing Mario, who are still playing Mario. They ain't gonna let me go. If we go, we're gonna have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch it with them first, and then watch it with you.
Well, they don't have to know that I took off work one day so we could go see it in the middle of the day.
There we go. So we got to plan it. It's a secret.
Exactly.
It's a secret thing.
Exactly. I mean, I was even considering maybe we do what we were gonna do with Morbius and do
We'd
a
have
little
to wait a
commentary.
while. That movie's gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of people in there for a while.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I think the name alone is going to make people stay in theaters for a couple of weeks at least.
I don't know. What are your tips and bits?
I've been rewatching a lot of stuff. I'm going to save them for next week. Because by this time next week, I probably will have watched the new Scream. I watched the new Creed, which I'm going to give people a little bit more time to watch it because I'm going to kind of deep dive into it.
Yeah.
But for now, the new season of Impractical Jokers came out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We did talk about this a little bit earlier.
I have been on a big Sal Vicano kick. He has a podcast with comedian Chris DiStefano. It's called Hey Babe. He also has a podcast called Taste Buds, which him and one of his another comedian, they debate different snacks or shows or something like that. And he's also part of the Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
And this new season has been really good. They just started the new season, and unfortunately, Joe, one of the members that started it, like 2 years ago, he decided to kind of do his own thing. He wanted to take time with his family.
He was having a lot of personal issues.
He had personal stuff. So the guys continued it. He gave the blessing. And now it's just them three, Joe, Murr, and Q. And they'll have a celebrity on there. So this new season, Post Malone's been on there. Bret Michaels has been on there. Anthony Davis, the NBA star. And then you
just almost said our boy.
Our boy, John Mayer.
You really almost said our boy, didn't
John
you?
Mayer. But he made me more of a fan. Because so the sketch they do, the prank they do is the other two guys ride out like a company, and the Joker has to take like an intern and be like, okay, the other founding member of this is not here. You've got to help me convince this group of people to buy this product. And the product is being bought by John Mayer and three Japanese guys. And at one point, John Mayer makes on the top of his head a jingle about it. And he's playing the guitar, and the girl is a big John Mayer fan. And she has to say, no, I don't like that. We need better. And he does it so well. It's so good. You got to watch it.
So a couple of things about John, too, that I love about this. The first is that he is incredibly smart. I mean, he is a really...
sneakerhead. He's got a great sneaker collection.
Dude. Sneakers, watches.
Yeah.
But he's very quick-witted. I mean, the fact that he just kind of intuitively came up with a song on the spot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I'm
not surprised
before
by
they came out. The one of the Jokers, I can't remember. I think it was Murr, but or I can't remember. But they were like, listen, whatever he does, you have to say no. We got to get more from this. And the girl is like, okay. And he's on the table playing a guitar.
I think I've seen the clip. He's like cross-legged on the table. Yeah.
And she has to be like, she's like holding it back. She's like, no, I think we can do better and stuff like that. Oh, it's so good. I love Impractical Jokers. Impractical Jokers
so fun, dude.
is my Office to people. Some people who like to put The Office on, I will put whatever season of Impractical Jokers on in the background, and I will turn and I know which prank they're doing or something like that. But yeah, that's my thing. And I think this new season has been great. The Anthony Davis one.
Anthony Davis was on it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He so they'd go to like a gymnasium filled with like YMCA kids.
Oh, the other thing I was going to say about John is that he's almost as big of a weeb as you are.
Oh my God. Maybe I need to like him more. I'm going to stop giving you shit about John Mayer. But Sal is a big sneakerhead.
He got his sleeve done in Japan.
Oh my God. Okay. I have to talk about this later.
I'm hearing your pants crinkle.
Yeah, a little bit. But Anthony Davis brings out these shoes that like they're Travis Scott Nike Air Jordan 1s, and Sal doesn't have them. And they're like, Sal, like if you do everything that we say, you get these, but you can also donate them to these kids.
Oh no.
And so there's these little kids that are like, Anthony Davis is there. They're like the time of their life, and he does everything, and he takes the sneakers from these kids. And it's so good. It's the punishment of the night where like he has to do whatever, and he's like, he breaks these kids' hearts taking these shoes from these kids. It's so good. I love it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I freaking love that. I gotta get caught up now.
Yeah. You know what else you can get caught up on? Not you, but the listener.
Yeah.
Patreon.com.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why
For
not?
as little as $1 a month.
That's true.
Yeah. At $5 though.
You get bonus content.
Bonus content.
Here's the thing too. As I said earlier,
listen to him.
You jump on the Patreon. Now we have a Discord server just for This Is My Bourbon podcast. So everybody who has felt kind of disconnected, maybe you're not in the Facebook group, maybe, you're just trying to find a way to communicate with other people, you can hop on the Discord server. That is where a lot of like our chats about things are going to exist.
Yep.
Moving forward.
Patreon / My Bourbon Podcast.
We'll do some hangouts over there as well.
Yeah. And you can just talk
in the future.
Do we gotta as moderators, do we gotta be like, let me see what you're talking about here. Oh, your opinion sucks.
No,
we don't do that. Okay. No. What if I?
But also, no politics, no nothing. Don't do that. Just hang out and have a good time.
If you say like, I just tried this and it's amazing, and I tried it and I thought it sucked, this is the place where we're going to debate.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you know what I think.
Speaking of Patreon, by the way, we got a new Patreon supporter this week. Yeah. You know then that he is at the annual. Well, he paid it. It was the annual thing.
He saved up his money and he said, I'm paying for a full year.
So he's already, covered for the next year of Patreon.
Oh, he's covered.
But it's at the $10 tier, which gets you a little bit. I don't even remember what the $10 tier is, to be honest. We talk about the $5 tier so much.
Yeah.
I know what 1, 2, and 5 gets you. And then there's 10, 20,
10.
50, and 100.
Well, when the tickets came out, you got early access to it.
Oh yeah, from top down. But he's at the $10 tier. But it's the crooner himself, James Taylor.
James Taylor? Is that okay? Like I was talking to James at the event that we were at. But he has the Death Note. Does he have the
Death? Yeah.
He has Yagami's.
Yes.
Yeah. I knew I loved James from the beginning. But you know what we were at the same time?
Where were you?
Nathan's hot dog eating contest. We were both
You didn't
there.
tell me. This happened back in July, and you didn't tell me about this?
Yeah, but it took him that long to decide.
I mean, you need to sleep on it. Sometimes you need to sleep on it for 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, but we were both there.
Sometimes 8.
I recognized him from his picture from YouTube. Don't ask me how. But we were watching dudes just shove meat in their face, like breaking them in half, shove meat in their face. And I was like, man, like.
He said, you know what this reminds me of? This is my Bourbon podcast.
Yeah. He goes,
and how you should support the show.
You know, there's people pouring water over hot dog buns and stuff. And he goes, are you the whiskey mute? And I go, yeah. He goes, wait a second. Aren't you on This Is My Bourbon podcast? I go, dude. And I was like, I see you in the chats all the time. And we sit there and we watched grown men break hot dogs in half, dip them in.
And women.
And women. Is there women in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Women can eat hot dogs.
I know they can. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of. Anyway, I'm getting in trouble right now. But me and James were like, could you imagine if they put bourbon up there on that? The amount of people that would be falling over.
I would throw up.
But that's the wrinkle in the game that they need to do. And James thought about it. He's like, I love Death Note. He's like, I'm going to write somebody's name in here, and I want to see somebody pass out and almost die from a hot dog eating contest.
It would have to be Joey Chestnut.
He's the champ.
That's what I'm saying is like, you want to know how far his body can be pushed.
So, yeah, you take the water,
saying?
you take the lemonade, you take the milk or whatever, and you put bourbon up there.
Oh,
and they break the hot dogs in half.
You've got to chug milk while you're shoving 35 hot dogs down your throat.
That's what James said.
It's so rough.
He said he chugs milk before every live stream that he joins and then starts drinking bourbon and starts commenting.
So bad.
That's what he said. He's the Yagami of Whiskey Tube.
In all seriousness, I would like to see a hot dog eating competition where instead of, I almost said milk, where instead of water, it's just like Bud Light.
Bourbon.
Yeah, all right, bourbon.
But
they're dipping it in bourbon and trying.
But the thing that got me the best about James was he started going over the science of hot dogs to me. I didn't realize the amount of ground up stuff that they put in there. And he was like, I think he works for a hot dog company.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
The Kroger brand.
Oh, Private Selection? Or
no,
Simple Truth?
The cheaper one.
Oh, Kroger.
Yeah, just about. But I figured, top-notch hot dog, lower-notch hot dog place. They're all the
dumbest
same.
bit we've ever done.
It's not a bit. That's what James said.
Yeah. I'm sorry, James.
And he takes his work serious. He's like doing this thing. He's like, but at that time, he said he was going to join the Patreon because he wanted to talk more about dogs in people's mouths. So
there you go.
It took him long enough.
Well, now he's here.
Here we go.
That's it.
I kind of want a hot dog right now. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't say no.
I don't not want a hot dog right now.
I'm always pre hot dog. Like I'm always ready for a hot dog.
Pre-dog?
I'm always pre-dogging, man.
You're pre-dogging all the time,
pre-dogging.
dude. Perry, why you change your pants? I just pre-dogged. I was like, that's fine, dude.
Hey, you can also leave us a 5-star rating and review on your podcast app of choice. Yeah. We normally check it on the Apple Podcast app.
You can leave a rating on Spotify.
That's true. If you leave a
Barry's
review
over it right now, he's done. He can't.
I'm losing it, man.
I'm
losing my mind.
I'm about to make a hot dog podcast right now.
You could call it a hot dog as a sandwich.
Yeah, this is my hot dog podcast. This is my dog cast. I love a good dog cast Friday afternoon. What if they change the word pod to dog and everything?
Just out of nowhere.
I'm a dog caster.
This is my bourbon dog cast.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a 5-star rating from Tollyweeds.
Oh. Oh,
longtime supporter of the show.
Speaking of Tully Weeds, he gets a sample of the horrible finish we did because he commented "Chip Me Daddy," which Mike Green, you get a sample too, but you added "Chip Me Daddy," and there's apparently a real "Chip Me Daddy."
There is, and Mike tagged him, and the guy said, "Wrong account, buddy."
Yeah, and I got kind of offended because he did it in a way that said,
really, really funny.
"Bud, chief, boss."
Anyway, Tully Weeds, 5-star review, says, "Not just bourbon. I have been listening to Timbit for years now, and what a great podcast. If you are a bourbon nerd, or even just a nerd about video games, snacks, movies, or just having a general good time, this podcast is for you. Perry, Eric, and other co-hosts are awesome. Don't forget about their Patreon for extra content, which is well worth it. Happy listening." From Tully.
Listen, if you were on the fence about the Patreon,
That is the most, that is such a resounding endorsement for what we do.
You're getting triple the amount of content.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. We got stuff we got to record too.
What?
I just remembered. Not today necessarily. You got to go take care of your kids or whatever.
Or whatever. Or whatever. Hey, if you want a shirt or something that says Tim Bip on it, you can go to This Is My Bourbon Shop. No.
Bourbonshop.threadless.com.
But if you wanted to send
Are
us
you
something.
okay?
Yeah.
Do you need me to make you some chicken nuggets before
No,
you go?
No, I'm fine. I'm getting mixed up because we've done everything out of order. I feel like.
know. We have.
If you want to send a message or a request or just ask us a question, it's This Is My Bourbon Shop at gmail.com. If you want to follow us on all social media, you can follow Perry at Peter1792. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can follow the show as a whole at My Bourbon Pod. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We got a Facebook group you can join, answer a few questions. Join the group. We put show updates. That's your, after Patreon, that's probably one of the best places to get updates and content.
Yeah.
This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. And then we've already talked about ratings, reviews. Just tell people about us. Just tell your friends.
And barrel rings, too.
Barrel rings.
Leave us a voicemail. 859-428-8253.
You're on the show.
You're on the show, man.
We play you and talk back to you.
Is that it? Are we out of here?
What are we doing next week?
Do we know? I don't know. But I do know what I'm doing for my stream.
What are you doing?
Tomorrow, I guess, as of this episode coming out. It's the week of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And I'm really tired of doing a bourbon drinker drinks Irish whiskey.
Are you going to just do, I'm drinking Irish whiskey?
Nope. I am doing bourbon pairings with Irish beers.
That's different.
Exactly.
I like it.
That's the point.
I can't wait to see it.
And then on the second half of the episode, I'm going to do, can I still guess? Can I still guess?
Can I guess? I'm gassing this.
I'm gassing it up, man. We're going to take it for a ride down to the Mojave Desert.
We're going to wear that green. We're going to gas some Irish whiskey.
We're gassing it.
Let's go. I can't wait for this. I usually I gotta work next Thursday, and I don't get out of work till close to 7:45. I'm gonna be having this ready to go on my way home. So you better make my drive home.
Well, the second half of it,
I'm gonna get a speeding ticket.
Is gonna be if I can guess what beer I'm drinking, even if green food coloring has been added to it.
Oh,
because
Lucy gonna pour it all for you?
Yeah. Because green beer kind of tastes a little bit different, kind of like purple ketchup does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, well, let's get out of here.
Purple ketchup.
We've lost it. See you guys next week. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Merritt.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.